Hello again, everybody. Well, I hope everybody else's year is off to a good start. I know one person who is not having a good start to his new year, as we all know. And, not to blow my own horn, but since nobody else will, I might as well. In my last video on the 2nd of January, I mentioned that Donald Trump is going to have a very bad year, arguably the worst year of his life. And then, the very next day, on Wednesday the 3rd, we all heard the news about the book Fire and Fury, Inside the Trump White House. And, by golly, don't you know, the book is sold out, and reverberations are still being felt around the political and geographic, physical world. So, unless your name is Trump, I'm wishing you all a good year, hoping that your year is off to a good start. That being said, I want to tell you a little story. It's going to be a short story. This past weekend, I had a chat with a Facebook friend by the name of John. And John was telling me that he got a pretty nearly royal ass chewing from somebody that he had invited to join one of his groups because he felt that this person, who shall remain nameless for the purposes of this story, would be of help, would be of benefit, would be a useful and productive member of John's group. Well, it seems that this unnamed individual had a rather substantial difference of opinion with my friend John about what he was doing and why and all of that. Now, I was not party to that conversation, and John did not go into detail, which is fine. I'm not going to press him. But it reminded me of one of the conversations I had with the people in the Democratic Party of, well, Pima County. There were some party officials who were rather concerned that my tone as a candidate, or would-be candidate, for Congressional District 2 against Martha McSally was perhaps a little too, strident, perhaps, or maybe a little too adversarial, or a little too antagonistic, and I was cautioned. I was advised. It was strongly suggested to me that I might want to tone that down just a bit. Well, now in truth, there are other reasons, which I have mentioned elsewhere, why I decided to suspend my candidacy for Congressional District 2. But that conversation with people in the Democratic Party was not insignificant. And one of the things that John and I chatted about was our mutual perception of party leadership. And I do want to emphasize party leadership of the Democratic Party seems to be, well, indifferent, wishy-washy. The word that I would use is pusillanimous, or, wait for it, pussy, for short. No, I am not using that word to make a vulgar reference to female anatomy. When I say the word pussy, the word that I have in mind is pusillanimous. Look it up. It's Pusillanimous. It means weak, or cowardly, or indecisive, or, well, wishy-washy. So, John and I agree that it is not the fault of the candidates running for office under the Democratic banner. They are not wishy-washy. But it is the leadership of the Democratic Party from Tom Perez on down that is wishy-washy. It is the leadership of the Democratic Party that is as much responsible for Hillary Clinton's defeat as it is anything else. And I could go on and on and on about that, but I'm not going to. My point here today is that, by all means, support the Democratic candidate who is running for House, who is running for Senate, who is running for governor, who is running for mayor. Better a Democrat than Republican. Personally, I would vote for my dead dog before I'll vote for any Republican. But that's just me. My quarrel is not with the candidates, because I have no doubt that the candidates are as dedicated and as determined and are as sincere and are as genuine in their desire to undo the damage that the Republican Party has done to this country over the last 2 years, or the last 4, or the last 8, as any of us. It's the leadership of the Democratic Party, the leadership of the National Party, the leadership of the State Party, the leadership of the regional or community or county party that you need to keep an eye on, and maybe your foot on as well. But anyway, that is what I wanted to say for now. And one last thing. Some people may not like the dragon style of rhetoric. I can understand that, and I don't blame you. But being wishy-washy in my own rhetoric just puts the lie to everything I just said about Democratic Party leadership. So, I'm calling my inner dragon off the bench. Sometimes it will be my inner dragon who speaks, and sometimes it will be the somewhat more civilized and more reasoned voice of, well, me. It is what it is. Or, as a certain legendary pipe-smoking sailor with an overweening fondness for spinach is known to have said, I am what I am, and that's all that I am. So, there it is. Talk to you later. Be seeing ya.